Hello. Hello. How are you all? Oh, hey, Queen. Hey to you. Hi, Rania. How are you? I'm here for a very brief live because I know that my boyfriend's going to walk through the door at any moment and he's going to make a bunch of noise, so I'll have to get off when he gets here because I'm downstairs. Still at work, getting another offer agreed. Of course you are. Hello, amazing things happening in your life. I'm not surprised. Just at the gym and old thoughts creeping. Thank God you're here. Oh, I'm glad I'm here. They're just thoughts. Thoughts can be there. Thoughts don't have to mean anything. You are not your thoughts. I know it feels like, especially when shitty thoughts are coming in, it does feel like it's the truth about our reality. It's not. Thoughts are just thoughts. Thoughts really, from my perspective, they're just opportunities to other versions of self. Let me rewind. We live in this 3D reality, but we're really infinite beings. And there are infinite possibilities, meaning infinite answers to all the different questions that can be asked, right? Infinite choices of what we experience, infinite possibilities, right? Well, if you don't have all different thoughts, what other way do you decide in the possibilities of what you want and what you don't want? Saying yes to a thought or saying no to a thought. Thoughts are just thoughts. They are meaningless until you make them have meaning. So if old thoughts are coming in that are telling you what you don't want to hear, you are not that. And a shit thought doesn't mean that you are in a shit state of consciousness or version of yourself. Doesn't mean that. So don't give it that meaning. Not that you said that. I'm just saying don't give it that meaning. I'm sorry. As soon as I go live, my nose itches. Sorry. Oh, you want to see my nails again? Thank you so much. I just painted them. Well, on Friday I did. What to do when I feel like I'm not worthy of my manifestation? Why don't you feel like you're worthy of it? We got to change that shit. We got to make a new decision for ourselves. You got to start talking to yourself a little more nicer. You got to start telling yourself that you wouldn't even have the desire if you weren't already worthy of it. It's a fear from your old programming, your old self. It's not true. If something has creeped up within your heart, something that you want to experience, love, money, whatever, if the desire is there, you're automatically worthy of it. And quite frankly, the desire, think of it as that's your higher self, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, speaking to you, right? It speaks to us through desire. So you're already worthy of it. You already have it. Thank you, Mercedes. It refreshed right as I was reading. Somebody's old SP came back. I lost it. Oh, Kim, my old SP came back when I'm manifesting my dream man. Of course. Of course. I'm not surprised to hear that. This is really no different than when someone makes the decision that they don't feel like manifesting their original SP. So we'll say SP number 1. And then they move on to an SP2. SP1 still manifesting. That's still going to happen. It's also why people experience that, when they even start the love category in manifestation, that like X's start coming in. It's why you're changing who you are. You're changing your energy, right? What's up, Bryn? Kim, I got a BBL for my lawsuit. It's coming. Damn right it is. Damn right it is. And that's the right attitude. Thank you, Karina. I'm struggling with the 3D right now. I've been manifesting a new job since July and nothing yet. Okay. First of all, stop saying you're struggling. I know you're just telling me that so I can answer your damn question, but I'm saying in general, that's not who you are. You're not struggling. You're not struggling. Everything is perfectly unfolding for you. Even if you do not believe a word of that, everything is working out perfectly for you. You are currently being led to exactly where you're supposed to go. So if you know that you've been, doing your best to embody the state of the wish fulfilled or the version of yourself that has your desire, if you know that you've been doing that every single day, doing your best to show up as that new self, everything you're experiencing is exactly what you're supposed to experience to get the outcome. Now, our logical minds want to start a totally different kind of conversation. Our logical minds want to tell us, well, that's not true. Nothing's changing. This doesn't feel good. I'm scared. I'm never going to get a job. Yes, you are. Everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to. You can be reassured of that. The idea is to detach, to stop relying on the world of sense, right? The world of our senses, and trust the inner man, right? Every single human, in a sense, is like two people. The inner man and the outer man. Okay? The outer man is the meat sack that's living in the 3D. As long as you are doing your best to stay within, to return to your decision, to know who you really are as consciousness, that's your inner man. You have nothing to worry about. Everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to. Seriously. So things might not make sense in the 3D, but it's not because you're not meant to have a job. Nope. So you start identifying, right, the inner man, identifying as the version of yourself that loves their job, career, whatever words feel good to you. You love it, and everything's leading you to it. What about manifesting health and you are afraid of the blood results? Okay, first of all, that's you being human, and there's nothing wrong with that. And some health manifestations, okay, sometimes on the journey of health manifestations, you go to the doctor, you have tests, maybe you take the medication that your doctors subscribe. That's all a part of you getting your health manifestation. So no matter what those blood results tell you, it's okay, right, that you're authentically owning that you're afraid of it. But remember what they are. They're just some 3D human test. So it doesn't, in all seriousness, no matter how scary the results might be, no matter what those results are, they are in no way, shape, or form an obstacle to the outcome. They're a part of the unfolding. So face that fear. Face the fear. We can own authentically that we're afraid about something. We don't have to pretend we're not afraid when we're feeling the fear. That's okay. It's there. We can accept it. But let me say this. If you get results you don't like, you're going to give up on your manifestation? You're going to decide because of one test result that everything is done? It's not going to work? Because none of that is true. We were promised, right? Our desires are a promise. If we keep our focus, attention, awareness on the desired end, the wish fulfilled, the outcome, which is you being 100% healthy and perfect. If you're keeping your eye on that prize, you're doing your best to show up as the identity that is healthy and perfect. I like to add the perfect. You don't have to. This is my wording. Then test result or no test result. Every single thing you're experiencing is leading you to that outcome. Everything. So these test results, they really aren't anything. They're nothing to be afraid of. And you could see results that you don't like, but that doesn't mean the manifestation isn't happening. So really, what's there to be afraid of? when you think about it. Your desire was a promise. How we get to the desire is not for us to figure out. So the exact thing that you're afraid of might be the exact thing that absolutely happens along the journey, but you still get the outcome. It still somehow twists to your ending. Remember, we are promised our desires. The only thing that we have to do is to keep our focus on being that version of ourselves. That's the instructions. That's what we're told to do. But everything in the middle, the unfolding and 3D reality, that's the part that we don't figure out. We're not supposed to know how things are going to unfold. So you have nothing to be afraid of. If you know you're choosing your most healthiest version, the test results, they really don't mean shit. They're just a part of the unfolding. Okay? I know that's easy for me to say because I'm not manifesting what you're manifesting. So I know it can be very easy to look at someone else giving advice thinking like, yeah, but you don't know what I'm going through. I get that because that's who I used to be. That was my mentality. I promise you, it doesn't matter what you're manifesting. If you're keeping your eye on the prize, if you're keeping your eye on that identity and you're doing your best to show up as that new version of yourself, then you can be reassured that every single thing you're experiencing is leading you to it. It's undeniable, right? We were promised the beginning and the end. The beginning is you having the desire to be healthy. Your health, perfect health. That was the beginning. Your next part that was promised to you is the ending, the outcome. But the stuff in the middle, we weren't promised that. What we were told was his ways are not our ways, or the universe's ways are not our ways. Because we have such a limited view. We only see so far in front of us. We don't see the big picture. So you going for a test and waiting on test results, somehow, some way is the true path of least resistance to your outcome. Even though logically and literally that doesn't make sense. Just like I didn't think breakups were the path of least resistance to me having my relationship, I felt like they were the total opposite. But they led to my outcome. I have what I want. So you will too. Remember that. The beginning and the ending is a promise. Listen, I know I'm going kind of on a tangent here, but remember, when we hear about other people in the community not getting what they want or hearing that it's taken them forever, this is because they are overly concerning themselves with 3D unfolding, with the middle. They're concerning themselves most of the time based off of fear. Because something is happening in their reality. And it's not to say their feelings aren't valid. I'm just saying it's because they're judging reality based off of what they think is supposed to happen in order to get the manifestation. Where their idea, so in other words, let's put it back on me. When I was manifesting the relationship that I'm in, when I was experiencing the breakups, to me, my logical mind said, this makes no fucking sense. I'm manifesting the relationship. Why the hell is a breakup happening? Not once, twice. Why is this happening? This is not the path of least resistance. In fact, this feels like the most resistant, right? But it's because I was judging my 3D. I was assuming I knew the best way to bring about my manifestation. But the truth was that was the path of least resistance. I wouldn't have admitted that at the time because I didn't have that understanding. But I can look back in hindsight and see, oh my God, it was the path of least resistance. I was becoming a new version of myself. Everything is happening for our benefit. It just doesn't always feel that way. And it doesn't feel that way because we're judging our 3D and we're applying logic to it. So you have nothing to worry about. Test results are good, test results bad. It doesn't matter. If you're experiencing it and you know who you're choosing to be, those results really aren't going to mean a thing. You're still going to get led to your outcome. Because this is what matters. The conscious awareness. Okay? Kimberly, you're the TikTok yippie. I'm about to get on an interview with my new job. Oh, tailor-made production, well done. Your lovely new job. Congratulations. Hello, Master Manifester. Well done. To any of you who kind of joined after the fact, I gave the warning. This might be a really super short one. Not that I want it to be. It's completely dependent on when my boyfriend comes through the door. When he comes home, he makes a lot of fucking noise because he wants to make his lunch. So I will get off the live when that happens because it will be chaos. Just giving that warning. But I'm going to stay on until he gets here. I suppose we could be manifesting that he takes a little bit longer than usual today. We could be doing that. Hello, Kim. Could you manifest a loved one to become healthy? Abso-friggin-lutely. Hell to the yes. Yep. Neville Goddard speaks about that relentlessly. You just do your best. Whatever technique you prefer, affirming, visualizing, scripting, you start seeing them as their healthy version. So how you speak about them, right? We don't call them unhealthy anymore. We don't overstress and Google their sickness anymore. We start talking. It's just like talking over them. You start talking over them about who they are now, their healthy self. Because really, that's about your identity, who you are showing up as. Meaning, everything we're experiencing in reality is a reflection of what's going on in here. So if you start identifying as the version of yourself that your family member is living their best life, absolutely healthy, reality rearranges itself to make that true. So yes, you can manifest for anyone in your reality because anyone in your reality is your personal version of themselves. I know if you're newer to this or you're just coming on this live, it sounds crazy. Sounds like I'm talking total woo-woo bullshit, but it's true. But also bear in mind, in your reality, you're the only one really manifesting, right? No one else is manifesting within your reality. It's just you, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So yes, you can. Thank you. Is it Yuku? Yuku? Thank you. Meeting my SP in 2 days, but not in the way I wanted. What should I do? What's changed? What's changed? Is this person still your specific person? You're still manifesting this person, I'm saying? So you're meeting them in a few days, but it's not the way you wanted. So what were you manifesting? A relationship or manifesting seeing your person in a couple days? Which one? I'm assuming you're manifesting a relationship with your person. A loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, right? So you guys meeting in a couple of days. Yeah, that's amazing, but I know what you're trying to tell me. It's under conditions that I don't want. But you're not manifesting to get together in a couple of days. You're manifesting a full-on relationship. So the only thing I would be doing is putting my focus on what's promised to me, which is the ending. You being in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with your person. This meeting in a couple of days is a part of the unfolding. So you can act like your best self. There's nothing to concern yourself with. Don't overthink that. So I'm just going to make up an example. Let's say you're manifesting that relationship, and maybe one of the things you're manifesting is spending more time with your person. Okay? So your person contacts you and they want to get together in 2 days, but it's not for a loving, romantic day together. It's to do his taxes. Okay? It's irrelevant, the purpose of the gathering in 2 days. It's really irrelevant. Your job is to keep moving on as being the version of yourself in the relationship that you want to be, identifying as someone in a loving relationship. And everything else that's happening is a part of the unfolding of you getting that. So the reason behind why you're seeing each other in 2 days really doesn't matter unless you decide it does. Is that making sense, I hope? SP and I talking. Thought going good. Then he popped up on an "Are we dating some guy" site. And what? Did you read something bad about him? What were you doing on that website? What were you doing on that site? Because that tells me you were really in the reality of, I'm searching to make sure nothing bad is happening because I don't believe that nothing's bad is happening, and I need to protect my heart. I need to protect my heart. I got to make sure that this guy is really a good guy. I got to make sure that he's not messing around with anybody else. See, that's a whole ass identity that you don't want to be if you're manifesting a relationship. So the reality in which he's on that website you just mentioned, okay? That reality exists, just like the reality of you two being in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, where he's 100% loyal and amazing to you, and you spend the rest of your life together. These two realities exist, but you can only be physically in one at a time. So if we felt that urge to go check that website, no matter how much we want to deny it, we were in the reality of where this relationship takes a big old fat shit. And we don't want to identify as that. Not if we're trying to manifest a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. Remember, our identity means everything. What state of consciousness we're embodying is everything. It determines our experience out here. So number one, I would never go on that website ever again. That fact that a website like that even exists is some very muggle-minded 3D people who are probably relentlessly experiencing shitty relationships. The identity matters. This is another reason why I say, if you're manifesting a specific person, there should not be us relentlessly checking out their social media to see what they're doing, to see who they're talking to. Because you're automatically, in that moment, you're instantly in the reality of not having it. Instantly. But you have that opportunity to instantly go back to the reality where you do get it, based off your state of consciousness. So this doesn't have to be terrible news that he was on, information about him was on that website. This doesn't have to mean shit if you would let it go. If you would say goodbye to that reality, say goodbye to that version of yourself, and say hello to the new version. Just saying. This doesn't have to be the end of the world. Me and my SP haven't seen each other in 9 months because we're long distance. He has no urgency to make plans. Don't say that. Can't say that anymore. Can't say that. Because you don't want that to be true. I know that might be what you've experienced so far with him, so I believe you. What I'm saying is, what you believe about your person, that person can then only show up reflecting exactly what you think and believe. Now, where people get tripped up when they're manifesting a specific person, just like I used to get tripped up on this, if I didn't see evidence that anything was changing, I would assume that this isn't working. And my whole belief in manifestation was rocked constantly. If my SP was showing up like shit, I would allow that to mean this isn't working. Manifestation isn't real. This stuff doesn't work. I'm so stupid for even wasting my time doing this. I had a bad attitude, just being honest. But what I was doing is I was doing this absolutely ass backwards. The entire point of manifestation is to never again let 3D reality tell you or me who we are. We must tell it first, which is why we do the different techniques, affirming, visualizing, scripting, blah, 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 and doing our best to remind ourselves of what new self we want to be or what new state of consciousness we want to embody. 3D reality doesn't have to mean shit unless we allow it to. So if we want him to start feeling a little more urgent to see us, We have to, number one, believe we're worthy of that. So that's a new story you got to start telling yourself. You are worthy and deserving of being pursued, chosen, adored, cherished, begged. Please, I must see you. I must spend time with you. You're worthy and deserving of this. Thank you, Flora. But only you can make that decision for yourselves. You got to start telling that story that that's who you are now. You are a woman or man, to anybody else listening, a woman who is always chosen, who knows she is more than enough for a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. And you define who you want specific person to show up as. He can't be away from you. He loves to see you. He loves to spend time with you. He wants to spend the rest of his life with you. He shows you evidence every day that he feels the same exact way about you. You got to start telling the new story so the story out in the 3D can change. So let's just say that that was the last time that you ever described him as not having the urgency. Yes, he does. It's like medical emergency how much he wants to see you. But only you can start telling that story to allow him to change. Remember, no one in your reality can become a different version of themselves until you allow them to. And by allow, I don't mean that you wish and hope they will. Up here in awareness, you decide they are. And you don't let the 3D tell you differently until you see the evidence of the new self. It'll happen. You have so much more control than you're allowing yourself to be aware of. It's my SP's birthday today. I got the urge to wish him a happy birthday. Should I? I'm overthinking. What is wrong with saying happy birthday? Say happy birthday. Say it as your new self, though, or text it, whatever, as your new self. The version of you who is exactly who she wants to be in her new reality. So therefore, we're not feeling desperate or needy on what kind of a response we should get. Detach from the response and happily send the happy birthday. Wouldn't it be a normal thing for you to do in your relationship with him to say happy birthday? Of course it would. So go right ahead. But do it from the new self. Do it from that state of consciousness. I just lost that. I lost faith in manifesting and thinking it's BS. Don't want to think this way. How do I regain faith? All right, so first of all, it'd probably be a little easier if you told me what you were manifesting and why specifically you lost faith. Because I'd love to be able to show you, to point it out for you. Here's the thing. I bet you it was you got your heart or your hopes up for something to manifest or someone to manifest. And from, we'll say what state you're in right now, we'll say, you view that as this didn't work. It didn't work. This failed. That manifestation never happened. I never got what I wanted. So I bet it's your perception of reality that is making you question manifestation, which I totally understand. For the first several years of my journey, I did that too. And I was heavily, heavily attached to 3D. I was missing the whole point. I was missing the entire point of manifestation, which is to detach from the 3D so that it can present to you what you want. But the more we're clutched to the outcome, and by clutched, I mean, I don't see evidence. Nothing's changing. This is why I talk about this a lot when we're talking about manifesting an SP. People manifest specific people, but then if they don't see the evidence that I have this manifestation, if they don't step into that version of themselves so that they're still attached like with an anchor attached to the old reality, at best, they're going to see hot and cold results because they haven't fully let the old reality go. Or like with manifesting a specific person, letting the old version of their person, the version that didn't want them, go and completely get their hands out of the 3D and let it unfold, detach completely. And by detach doesn't mean don't think about your manifestation. Detach means I'm staying like with the blinders on. I am who I say I am, and everything I'm experiencing is leading me to it. Most people don't do that. If they get 1 ounce of bad news in reality, they assume this isn't working. But that's that person making that mental judgment of this bad circumstance happened, so therefore my manifestation didn't work. Where that's not true. That's not true. Because you and I, we don't know how things will unfold. We don't know how it comes to us. So, and I'm saying this nicely, we have no right to look at reality and claim something didn't happen yet, because we never knew how it was going to come to us. So how can we say something failed when no one ever let us know what circumstances would happen? But that's what everyone does when they're frustrated with manifestation. And it's because they're looking at it and they're claiming that whatever they're experiencing, well, that circumstance wouldn't happen. That couldn't be true if I got what I wanted. If I was getting my manifestation, this circumstance wouldn't happen. I'll make an obvious one. Say you're manifesting a specific person and your specific person goes and gets married to somebody else. The very logical, literal response to that would be, see, it didn't work. They went off and married someone else. And as much as it would be a pain in the ass to experience that, the truth is that's just not true. We don't control how things come to us, which is why it's not our business to figure that part out. Our job is to keep our eye on the prize only on the state of the wish fulfilled, so that you can make it easier on yourself to start perceiving reality as every single thing I'm experiencing is leading me to the outcome, because that's actually what's happening. When most people don't do that, they allow their logical mind and fear to suck them right out of it and go to the other direction. But it's not because manifestation failed. And so whatever it was you were manifesting, you don't have to give up on it. If anything, I would start getting my eyes back on the prize, because it'll come. Yes, just detach, living it in your imagination. Yes, yes, and yes. All right. So I warned you, but when he came home, I would have to go. So I'm going to let y'all go, but I will come back this week and go live again. Okay? Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Probably be back, if not tomorrow, then Thursday.